What's happening, everyone? Chris Beans here with Bowler's Rant, bringing you one new update from Radical Bowling. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and turn on those notifications. Okay, we're going to jump right into this. No fluff, there's a new update from Radical coming stateside, and yes, it is a urethane ball. I say again, Radical is making a urethane ball. It's like unicorns just fell from the sky or something. The thing that Phil always said would never happen has happened, and there is a urethane ball coming stateside. And you know what's going on here, right? So here's a picture of the flyer, and they're even kind of making fun of themselves, right? You know, absolutely not. Don't do it. Stop. Urethane never. You know, there's a big backstory behind this, and it was something that for the longest time, if you ever know about katanethane, if you don't, go look that up on the Radical fans page. It was the best April Fool's joke ever, and everybody always asked about it for years, and it was never going to happen. So let's jump into the specs and talk about what's going on here. So here on the spec sheet, this ball features the U73 Pearl cover stock. That's very interesting, by the way. U73 sounds like something else that's out there. And it has a symmetrical core. Okay, so there's the core. And it's worth noting that this is a modified core of a previous ball per fill. The color, black pearl, gotta tell you, like the color, like the contrast, pour, looks fantastic. And it's, you know, pearl urethane. 515 CR micropad is the finish, and the number's at 15 pounds, 2.528 RG with an 035 differential. So that's really interesting here, right? So we're talking about this ball here, and they're making a claim here that this total differential of 035 is higher than any other urethane ball out there on the market. And this is going to be a hotly contested item because for the most part, this is mostly accurate. Why do I say mostly accurate? Because it's going to have a little more differential than, you know, than the hammer and some of the other, you know, urethane balls out there. But there is a ball out there that I don't think that the folks at Radical were thinking about when they did this. So if you were to take this U73 and turn that into a UC3, that ball actually has a lot more differential. And some people are going to make the argument that it's not a real urethane ball. If that's the case, well, then you've got to define what that really means, and we have to have a standard, and no one's ever going to do that. So I'm not even sure it's relevant to the conversation because it's a class of ball. Turethane, urethane style, you know, mild reactive. There's a whole bunch of different ways you can do it. But on this ball, what's really cool is I like these numbers, okay? So this 252, this is a medium RG, and Phil talked about in his live stream giving you a little bit more differential to the 035 to kick out the corner pins. And he's saying that also we're going to see some of that on the throwback video, so I'm really looking forward to seeing, you know, Chuck No Wrist, you know, just crank it down the line. I think they have Keanu Reeves on in there, if I'm not mistaken. So I really want to see what they look like. They're going to show you the ball reaction. Now, the other thing that's interesting about this story is the backstory about what this, you know, them not making the ball. So I went back and pulled some Facebook posts. Here they are. There was a post back in August of 2018, and the question was from, will Radical come out with a truly revolutionary pure urethane ball? And it got a whole bunch of comments and laughs. And Phil himself said, answer number 236, quote, no, we will not have a urethane Radical ball. There are two, one Brunswick, one Deviate. This was from the previous generation. That's my final answer. No need to phone a friend. Phil always being himself, giving you the straight up answer. And the late and great Mo Pinnell, rest in peace, not thinking ever. So this was the answer from Radical back in the day, and that's where I think this name Double Cross comes in, because they're really saying, hey, we're making a turn here. We're going to make a urethane ball. And Phil did say in the live stream, if he didn't want to make one unless he can make the best one on the market. And that's a very high statement because there's some really good urethane balls on the market. So really interested in seeing how this ball is going to roll. And is this going to be something like the next Hammer Pearl? Is this something we're going to see on the tour? Are we going to see the high revers using this? I'd love to see Packy Hanrahan throw this, right? Let's see what happens when people get onto the tour and throw this ball. And will this ball win? All questions we want to see answers to. Looking at the shelf appeal, not going to lie, really like it. You guys know me about my shelf appeal. I'm very picky. I like to see contrast, and I like to see the logo float in front of the pour and is very recognizable. And I like how they did this, okay? You know, it's really easy to see. It's raw. It's in your face. And this thing is basically saying it means business. And it's, you know, a urethane pearl cover, right? And if I'm not mistaken, yeah, there it is. So there's no polish. So it's 515 CR micropads. So you've got surface. And the thing about surface balls like this, not only do they look good, but you can tune them, and it's really, really good and should be easy to use on a variety of sport conditions. I don't think you're going to see this being used on a house condition by the, you know, low revers, unless if you're really looking to shoot some 10 pins, but I should absolutely expect to see this on sport patterns or for the high rev crowd. That's what we got for today. Universal release date and all the details will be in the video description. And if you want to learn more about this ball and where you can pick it up, I've got a link in the description where you can pick this up on bowlersmart.com. Whew, a lot of great information there. So what do you think of the double cross? And what do you think of Phil finally making the urethane ball for Radical? Does this get you excited? And if you were to get one, what layout would you go with? Drop me a comment, let me know, let's continue the conversation. More updates are coming, and until then, bowl well.